So after the last game, we had a player at us and he's asking questions about why we're taking the Aftershock, also why we go for the Hex Flash. So I figured if he's asking these questions, it's likely you have them as well. So I'm going to show you exactly why we are taking these runes. In this game, straight away, we have the enemy jungler spotted. This means he's not on his side and I can make an aggressive play by flanking around and landing a Q onto the enemy ADC. This procs the Aftershock and allows us to take a trade that greatly benefits us. Take a look at the Kaiser's health versus my health. All I have to do now is wait for my Q to come up, flash forward and trade, usually trade flash for flash. In this case, my Q was slightly off, but I imagine you can see how easy this is to take advantage of. Once he has no more flash, I'm just going to use that Hex Flash over and over with my W. Focusing back in on this game, our Wukong has invaded the enemy jungler's blue side, so I'm trying to create some pressure to distract them from helping. The problem is I kind of just wasted my shield plus the Hex Flash. Fortunately, that didn't matter because my Q lands and the Aftershock procs, but the Lucian jumps in very slowly. It might not look like an error to you, but that is definitely an error for me. Fortunately, we do trade 1-for-1, but I'm kind of skeptical about the Lucian. Let me show you why that is an error. Let's rewatch it. I've slowed it down. Now I'm going to compare this with a Lucian who actually is playing correctly. As soon as he knows my Q is going to land, he's preemptively jumping in to land his combo while he's stunned. Another issue is because of Lucian's indecisiveness, I got forced to stay under the tower and take another hit. He also then doesn't tank the tower for the Wukong. I knew right away that Lucian was playing a bit funky when he didn't jump in, so I bought boots and I went to the top lane. This is something that I tend to do when I'm unsure about an ADC. I'd rather get some gold onto another lane just in case the laning phase doesn't go the way I wanted it. We do get a kill onto the Mordekaiser and I help him push his wave and then head back to the bot lane. After this exchange in the river, we've now got a winning mid lane, winning top lane. Our jungler is about even and our bot lane should be significantly ahead. What I do instead of going back to lane is I take advantage of the fact that we know where the Kaiser is. We can cut her off and force a play. I'm waiting for this Lucian to push the wave in. I'm trying to use pings to communicate what I want, but Lucian chooses to slow push the wave instead. So I end up only dealing some damage. It's a significant amount. This gives us complete lane control, but in an ideal world, Kaiser would die there, missing 3 waves as well. I then recall to reset my health and spend all my gold on upgrading my boots. So my plan now is just to run around the map doing crazy shit. It pays off very quickly as I spotted Zed on his blue side. We pick up a kill. Because I got that kill and Zed wasn't in the vicinity anymore, I think potentially there is a tower dive to be had in this bot lane, so that's why I went against my plan. One more chance for the Lucian. I think Lucian should have gone in there. I know it can be debatable, he's just playing safe, blah, blah, blah. Even with the hindsight of Zed showing up, if we fought their 2v3, we would still at least get 2 kills. So this is, without a doubt in my mind, a clear indication that I have no synergy with him. I want to play aggressive and he is just looking to play very safe. It doesn't work. So from here on out, I am just on the roam train. We are running around the map trying to get everyone else gold. And And just to be clear, I don't believe Lucian is a bad ADC. He actually played really well. If I was to pick a standard meta support, I'm sure he would absolutely crush with it, but the issue is he's not familiar with the Sion and he's not playing aggressive enough, so I can't utilize that. This Gragas, however, is on the opposite of the spectrum. He is helping me every time I go and he fully commits, and that's why you see me hovering around him. We took that top tower, rotated to the bot, we're taking all the outer towers, and now we are looking to end this game. Game number 1 ends, we gain 22 LP, so we're only one game away from Diamond 1 now. Moving on to game number 2. Bit of an awkward start. They do trade some summer spells for my kill. It's not the end of the world. Now we're invading the enemy blue side, trying to figure out where the enemy jungler is starting. We don't manage to spot him. I do the same thing we did last game where I just walk straight up and land a Q onto the Tristana. I'm expecting Ziggs to throw out a bomb here. Anytime that I land a Q, there should be a Ziggs Q following that, and he doesn't do it in this instance, so I'm a little bit worried, just like the last ADC. Now Lulu is fully committing to zoning out my Ziggs, so I'm going to fully commit to dealing as much damage as I can to Tristana. I even blow the ignite. I'm not expecting to kill him. I just want him low enough that he's in potential kill range. It's an absolute disaster. 2 kills for the enemy. We get 0. He's going to push the wave in and reset. And guess what? It is entirely my fault. I got baited by Lulu. If I just kept walking, Tristana dies there. Zeke stays alive. It's 1 for 0, and we have complete lane control. When shit like this happens, you just need to come up with a bunch of silver linings so that you don't tilt off the face of this planet. One of the main ones is that Ziggs has teleport, so he got the wave as soon as we died. Isn't the worst case scenario. And more often than not, we should be able to pull this lane back in our favor because Sion and Ziggs is very strong. The combo can win most lanes, especially if you have an ADC like the Tristana who is willing to play aggressive and willing to jump under towers, handing over gold to the Ziggs. The Lulu is also being super aggressive, and this gives me a kill, a big shutdown. I also have the ability to tank this wave, which means I can freeze it for the Ziggs to allow him to catch back up. So by 6 minutes, I'm trying to bring up the aggression on my end. We have a level advantage now on the Ziggs from freezing that wave. It should be a point in which we can win. I, however, forgot we're playing in Korea, and Tristana just goes completely balls to the walls, jumps on me. That plus the Lulu slow is enough to kill me again, and at this point I just need to accept that if I keep going to the bot lane, I'm going to be more of a burden than any help for this Ziggs. He's got teleport, he can safely farm. It's time for me to roam around the map and try to create pressure. The backup strategy is working so far. I'm using that double jungle knowledge to help me counter the Nunu. And then I have my ultimate up and they're in a pincer spot. This is a great location to ult because there's no way I can miss. The problem is I assumed Malzahar's ultimate was up and he could follow up and we can get a kill, but that wasn't the case. Malzahar's ultimate is up in 5 seconds, and what do you know? The Annie's ult is up right now. This is my fault. I should check these things before I engage. I guess I am just not playing playing up to par. That's okay though, because the question earlier was why take Hex Flash? If this doesn't show you the strength of the Hex Flash, nothing will. I'm using it to get in a position that otherwise is not possible. I jump the wall, poke him, Camille runs away, and I literally walk around and do the exact same thing again. You should be picking up on a trend about me roaming and the way I do top ganks. If you're a jungler, this is super important. If you get a kill onto the top lane, make sure you help them fix the wave before you go. Getting a kill and leaving the wave state in a bad spot sometimes loses them more gold, more experience. You could actually hurt the lane by doing that. You'll always notice every time I get a kill, I help push in the wave, or I wait until they push in the wave to make sure they get back safely. The last thing I want is for my top laner to be further behind from me ganking. This is really just game knowledge because I was a top lane. I know how important it is, and I know that some top laners are going to be mad that you're pushing their minions, but if they get mad at you for pushing the minions, you can make a mental note that this is a bad player. Any good top laner is going to be happy that you fix the wave state because they know the outcome if you don't fix it. And I'm not saying steal all their gold, I'm just saying help them push it, still allow them to last hit. Anyway, focusing back in, this is our first team fight. It's on the Drake and it does go in our favor. They get the Drake, but at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. What we want now is these kills to catch up, get a lead, and try and snowball. We're playing in Korea. The odds of a 15-minute forfeit is very high. Something that I discovered while playing on this server is that I needed more damage. You can see that I've changed the build path. I rush Deadmans now. That's from playing Bard, but the second iteration to this build is that I'm running lethality as a second item. This is before the buffs, so this is just what I thought was good, but now that they've even buffed Sion to deal more AD damage, lethality is a great option as a second item. It's also quite versatile. If I want to remove wards, I can go for the Atlas. If I want more movement speed, I'll go for the Youmu's. So I do switch it up every game depending on the situation. I don't always do it either. Sometimes more tankiness is optimal, but it's really good for catching people off guard. The Deadman Burst with Shield Bash and a lethality item, we can pop people because I'm putting a lot of points into my W as well. You're going to see me throughout these videos just doing flash W auto, and that's enough to steal kills and get so far ahead that I can just hard carry. We're now in a spot where we have 7 kills. We've just snowballed completely. Don't forget, this is the same game that we were inting in the bot lane. We ran it down like 3 times in a row within 3 minutes. And now we're just walking through this game all because of our decision to leave the bot lane. It was the right one. If we stay in that lane, it's going to be a burden for everyone, not just me, not the Ziggs, but also the jungler, because we're going to be constantly requiring assistance. I mentioned this in the last video as well. It's a thing. You just don't want to stay in a lane that is losing. It's the same way if you're the jungler, you don't want to gank the lane that is losing. Always go to where you are winning and then get a lead and move that lead towards your team and get the gold and give it to everyone else. But you need to get the gold first. Disclaimer, it's all situational. We get promoted with that game. We're now Diamond 1 heading on to game number 3. I started this one off by editing. I was editing while waiting, and as I was doing that, our team was getting invaded on the red side, and with everyone in that side of the map, I try to take advantage of it. You should always be trying to take advantage of the situation. So I roam into enemy red territory, drop a ward. My intention here is to invade in the future, so I get level 2 and head straight back over. I'm waiting for the Graves to come down. There is this new trend where all junglers start on the blue side. I don't really understand why. Maybe one of you guys can explain it to me, but the point is they all start on blue side and path down to the red. So I'm sitting here and waiting, and then I see him go to the scuttle. I spent so long waiting for this Graves to show up. And this seems like a great time to remind you that you've made it 15 minutes into this video. So if you're enjoying it, drop a like, leave a comment if it helps out the videos and encourages me to make them quicker. I don't know how he didn't realize the first Q and the fact that I even reached that red buff, but I did manage to steal it, and I thought I got away scot-free. I was walking back to lane when all of a sudden my screen goes black, and I've got this Graves attacking me. Clearly, he wanted vengeance. Committing to the kill here for Graves does seem slightly excessive, but we are in Korea, so if I kill Graves there, we could instantly win this game right off the bat. It does go negatively though. Ezreal uses all his summoner spells and then gets zoned out of the tower. I can't get back in, so he ends up dying, and now we are chasing this Graves. He's on our side. We want to try get this gold back to make the trade even, but he cuts through our tower, picks up another kill onto our mid laner, and he keeps going. Now I'm in an awkward position. I'm no longer close to lane, so I may as well try to make something happen in the top lane. Kennen manages to escape, and things are looking pretty dire, honestly. We've just screwed over our ADC. We didn't succeed at anything in the top lane. All of us wasted so much time chasing Graves around the map, so we commit to this kill. And finally, something goes in our favor. The Graves comes in for the kill. We get 2 of them for 1. This is amazing. We needed it. Without it, we would have been in a lot of trouble. I didn't mean to steal this kill. I still have PTSD at this point from the previous game. Cleaning up there, bit of a mistake, but I'm still happy we got the gold. We've gone from being weak to already having a dead man's, which means we are actually in a very strong position. We can look to carry this game through damage. This time we execute and use our passive to secure 2 kills, both onto the Zed. This is really good. It's a 2 for 1. The significance of that moment though is that both kills go on our mid laner, and then the enemy jungler is dead. So our jungler is getting ahead. There's 2 people getting ahead. The only one who's getting put behind is me. You're watching a situation now where I get caught, but I'm technically trying to bait. I like to pull them into the pit. I was expecting the Nautilus to come down, collapse, and trap them. He paths around, and then I freak out and waste my flash. It's just free gold for the enemy team, but I don't mind doing this. Sometimes the plays work, sometimes they don't. It is what it is. As long as when you die, it's not a game-changing moment, and that definitely wasn't it. Fast forwarding 4 minutes into the future, the game state is pretty similar. We're looking to open this up, and I spot the Kennen. He's sitting on a ward, and it is a great example of just how much burst we possess. We just completely wipe him from the game, and then use that to take the top tower, which then snowballs into our first major team fight. So that was how our team managed to get a gap in kills, and now we're kind of jumping significantly into the future. We have control of this game and we're trying to close it out. It's just no longer possible to get a Baron at 20 minutes and then run through. So instead we are forced to go for the Atachan, which isn't exactly the same, but I have spoken about this before, where once you see a weak player, you should keep picking on them over and over and over. In this case, it was the cannon on the enemy team. You're going to see me killing him quite a few times. At this point though, the enemy team's just in shambles. We've got Zed and myself just meticulously picking them off one by one, and we're getting the free objectives. One thing I do want you to take away from this game is look how long I hold onto this Rift Herald for. It's something I see consistently in solo queue, that people waste the Rift Herald. They think you have to use it as soon as you get it for some reason, but no, this Rift Herald actually lasts for a long time. I end up holding it until the right moment, which ends up being at the end of its timer. We held it for almost 5 minutes. We're just trying to get as much gold as possible. The game is completely over. It's just a matter of collecting the gold and pushing to end. I'm surprised they didn't even forfeit this one, to be honest. We're basically watching me try get as much gold as quickly as possible. We picked up the tier 2, ran the Rift Herald straight to the next tier 2, and then we have Cannon handing us another kill. We picked up over 1,000 gold in that small 30 seconds. Pretty wild. That leads into the Baron, and then shortly after, the enemy team, they give up. That's all I've got for you today. We're up to Diamond 1, 32 LP. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches.